abortion's a big topic for me because of my work that I do. You know, a lot of children do become pregnant, and I think legally they should not have to carry that baby. So,
do any of the girls on the side of the table want to address that?
Abortion?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh man, not to stir the pot or anything.
Yeah,
stir the pot.
No,
you can stir the pot. Go ahead, please stir the pot.
Please do. No, I love hearing that. Yeah, I love hearing from women, like what they think.
I am more so
into the mic, please.
I'm more so pro-life.
Sure.
So I believe there are steps that you could take before it comes to that.
100%.
You know, like
is it religious due to your beliefs?
I am religious.
Okay.
Yeah. But also personally, like I don't think anyone should have the right to decide if a baby who can't decide for itself whether they can live.
Would you keep a child that, you know, you got pregnant because you were assaulted? Would you keep that?
Honestly, I think I would, but that percentage is very low in terms of who goes and gets an abortion. Like statistically speaking, through.
But
how many people will admit
don't those
that
individuals
when they go?
deserve access if they do not want that child?
I think that could be a topic that we could talk about. Like there could be like, like for those people, but it's like once you let something be so easily accessed, it's really hard to draw a line of like when it stops or like when the cutoff is, you know.
People are not getting abortions for fun. I can promise you that.
I know. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. But I'm just saying
economically.
It's really
economically, let's say you couldn't take care of it. You don't have the family. You don't have the foundation, and you're now in a state that abortions are not available to you. You would still keep that child even if it ends up with you two on the street?
First of all, I wouldn't.
You're disproportionately putting that child at a disadvantage.
No, personally, first of all, I wouldn't have a child if I'm not able to
you
raise
didn't get
it.
a choice in the matter. You got pregnant due to assault.
I think there's also
she
adoption.
spoke about certain
How many
steps
kids
that
have you adopted?
I would be down to adopt. Actually, I really do want to adopt.
It's actually really hard to adopt.
But I'm not.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
There are a lot of kids in foster homes who just never end up getting adopted because there's just so many of them.
There are, but I think there's also a lot of programs that are working towards helping these children.
But they're not quite there yet. So as of now,
All I'm saying is I think people should not resort to abortion as a plan A.
Okay.
And there's just steps.
I would agree.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
no,
saying.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, Kyria, right? How do you say your name?
Kyria.
Kyria. You're Christian.
Yes.
Do you have thoughts on this?
Yeah, so I have 2 points. On the first point, the statistics of women who get abortions after a sexual assault are super low. Mm-hmm. And honestly, personally, if I wasn't financially stable myself, I wouldn't be having sex. And I personally would never let a man who isn't financially stable fuck me. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I wouldn't do that. So like there are ways to prevent it is what I'm saying. Like if you know that you're not supposed to you're not in a place where you can have a child and bring a child into a stable environment, then there are ways to avoid that. There are so many ways to avoid that. Like the pill itself is revolutionary. I don't take it, but I'm pretty sure it is.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What about married couples who are not financially stable? Should they just stop having sex?
You can use a condom. The
Condoms
morning
aren't
after
100%
pill.
though.
Condoms break.
Condoms break.
Yeah,
Birth
but there's
control.
both. You can also track your cycle. There's only 1 week
no
where
method
you can
that's
fertilize
100%.
it.
There's not a single method of birth control that's 100%. So
you can try them all. If you really honestly don't want to have a kid, you could try them all.
You can try them all, but things happen.
I just think once you're actually engaging in that activity with someone, you're automatically knowing what could happen. So you should be prepared.
It's like you're doing something and
I don't think sex with a spouse should come with the punishment of a child that you can't take care of.
Okay, but why do you think a child is a punishment?
Because
Children aren't
if you're not ready,
you know?
if you're not ready for a kid, it can be seen as a punishment to a lot of people who they're not financially able, emotionally able, or they just don't want to put their body through that.
Yeah, but as an adult or as a married couple, you're engaging in a certain activity to instantly gratify you and just being completely ignorant of the consequences. And there are ways to go about it. There are many different ways to not get pregnant.
And not all of them are 100% though, is what I'm saying.
Okay, so
that you
are
wouldn't have sex.
so we're
though.
just
Yeah,
advocating-
that is
Not have
100%.
sex.
Okay,
Not
so-
having
sex
sex
is for sure 100%.
Exactly.
That's what's
So
You know what I mean?
wouldn't have sex.
Even if
in
I
a-
was
in a marriage.
in a marriage,
If you
yeah,
weren't
but
ready
I-
to have a kid, you would just put off having. You would just tell your husband, no, we can't have sex right now because
if
we're not
we
in a
weren't
place.
ready, like financially ready.
If you were in a place where you and your husband, you somebody got laid off, somebody was sick, bills were coming in, you guys are both in debt. You obviously can't take care of a kid at that point. You don't want to put yourself through that. Would you
Okay.
just stop having sex with your spouse?
Okay, so I'm 19, right? I want to get married. I want to get married early. I want to have kids early. But with that being said, because I want those things and because I have that teleology already in place in my mind, I don't have any debt. I'm paying school out of pocket right now. The person that my future husband, hopefully he won't have debt. If he does, I will help him. I personally have a good job right now, and hopefully he does too. So there's certain steps that I would never make myself get into a position that bad and marry into that position or bring a child into that position. There's certain steps that you could take now. I'm always planning for the future.
Well, that's good for
because
you,
of
but
what
there
I
are married
want.
couples
I
who
know,
are
but you
financially
asked
well off
me
and,
personally.
Like,
you know
what
what
if
I
somebody
mean?
gets cancer? What if somebody's sick? What if somebody
Okay, if
like
you get
the
cancer,
pandemic
you can't
went-
carry a baby.
Okay, well, what if somebody's sick?
You're
Like, what if
How
you're
sick are
asking
we
a lot of
talking
what ifs,
about?
which is in catering to her, which was your original question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you come from a place of personally view of privilege? Because you said when it talks about financial stability,
Mm-hmm.
because you said you have set yourself up in a specific manner and are able to follow it thoroughly and wouldn't deviate from that. There's people that don't have that same, if it is financial or you have a security belt, that don't have that.
I don't have I mean, I do. I have an emergency fund and all of that. But are you asking if I
like
grew,
more
grew up?
like parents and things that a fallback plan, because there's some individuals that end up pregnant that don't have that same.
Yeah, no, I've been living alone since I was 17. I don't have a fallback
Right, kudos
plan.
to you. That's
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah.
And no, I didn't grow up in privilege either. It's just, I'm friends with a lot of older people, and I like to learn from their mistakes.
Totally
You know what I
understood.
mean? So whatever they say don't do, I don't do. So everything is set up because I really want a husband and I really want a family. So I'll make sure that it gets there. But that's me personally, and I know not a lot of women want children, and I'm not saying you have to have children, but there are ways to not have children.
So that's good for you that you're stable, but do you think your beliefs should affect whether or not another woman has the right to choose?
That's why we're just saying it's our belief.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
but
is our
a lot of people
belief.
who a lot of people who believe that will like lobby for and support anti-abortion laws. So where would you stand there?
I still don't think that it's okay for you to decide to kill a life, because have you seen a 15-week fetus? Have you seen it?
I don't care to, no.
Well, exactly. So like, if you don't care to know, then that's what it is. But it's still a baby, and
I mean,
just not
I definitely
comfortable
have,
with
but
that.
I'm saying it's to
know?
me, it's not a baby, and that's just my belief.
So it looks
cells.
exactly like a baby.
It's a
It
clump of
looks
cells.
like an actual baby you can carry, but you don't think it's a baby, is what I'm hearing. Like,
I don't.
It definitely can
Okay.
survive out of the womb.
okay, it can't survive yeah, but it's still your child.
So you would
It's
would
still a
vote,
child,
you would vote
your
against other
child.
women having the right to choose because of your personal beliefs and your situation.
But she chose to have sex.
But
that
she did not
it's-
choose to get pregnant. And yes, it's always a risk, but I'm saying, what if somebody's taking all the precautions, taking all the birth control they possibly can? It's like a
So when that happens,
99.9%.
then we can have this discussion, I think.
Yeah,
That
but do
happens a
you?
lot.
Okay, but do
That
you
happens a lot.
personally?
If they're taking birth control and that happens, that's not a lot of people.
But if there's a law in place to stop them from doing so, why should we wait until it comes to that?
Okay, but you're talking about the 0.001% chance that it happens if you take all the precautions, right? Like, that's what you're asking. Do
Happens
you
a lot more
honestly?
than that.
Do you honestly really think? I'm not shitting on women right now. I'm not. But do you honestly really think that all these women are taking every single one of those precautions or are responsible enough?
No,
to
I
take
don't think they're all
them?
taking precautions,
Exactly.
but I don't think it matters because it's her right to choose. At the end of the day, it's her body. If she doesn't want to gestate a baby and damage her entire pelvic floor delivering said baby, she shouldn't have to.
But it took
Then why did
a
she
man
choose
and a
to have
woman
sex
create
knowing
that.
Because
the
humans were built to
consequences?
piss and shit and have sex.
They were made to procreate.
fundamental-
Actually, they were made to
it's-
procreate.
We were
not
also
to have
made, we're
sex.
also humans and dolphins are the only two mammals who have sex for recreation.
Huh?
It is-
Dolphins.
Dolphins, yes.
Dolphins.
Dolphins